two, one.
I'm back with another video. Today, I've come thinking that I want to do a challenge. How to do a challenge? There's no power. So let me explain first why there's no power. So this is why there's no power. Let me explain it. Zambia is going through something that is called load shedding. Most of African countries do not have power. They have the resources, but for some reason there is no power. It is said that there's no water at the town because they're doing hydro. But I don't know if it is the same case with all countries. In Kenya, when I was young, we had sort of kind of the load shedding, but I think it is a lingo that we used to call it rationing. Even presently, we have power rationing. So power rationing basically means you get there's a time you rationed what you get, so that maybe somebody else gets, I think. But we used to call it rationing until I came here. And I remember when my colleagues would call me and say, we don't have power, somebody cannot do night shift because there's no power. We never used to understand because we would think it is the rationing that we are used to. It's until you come here and you realize it's something to adjust to. It takes time to adjust because I've been used to having power through all through. So coming here and finding very serious, like 70% of your day there is no power. I even Googled it because I didn't. They were saying load shedding, where I come from, we say rationing, until I checked load shedding, and you can see load shedding.
So load shedding is the deliberate temporary shutdown of electricity supply to different parts of a power grid, usually done by a utility company when the demand for electricity is greater than the available supply. It is a controlled way to prevent the entire power system from collapsing by rotating outages across regions.
So, this that is what load shedding is, and literally there is no power. So what happens, like for example, I won't be having power until maybe 10. Now it's about 8:30. So until 10, and that is how the schedule has been this week. So it will come at 10 p.m. And then in the morning around 5 or 6 it will go because they have to give it to somebody else. And that is how it is. Next week I'm very suspicious that I will not see power the whole week because I get home at about this time, 8:30. So power will be there from morning 8 a.m. to about 3 p.m. So I won't manage to get power in my place. But it's fine. I came across bulbs, rechargeable bulbs, which I haven't bought for the longest. I've been here for about 8 months or 9 months. I still use my phone torch, which I am using right now. But maybe this time I'll buy it. I'm very willing to adjusting to getting used to it. It takes time. So there's a challenge I want to do. I want to make Zambian Nshima. Ugali, but the Zambian way. So I want to make Nshima. I don't feel like I want to wait for power. So first to start. Nah. But I'll see how the lighting comes out. If it is not so good, I'll be waiting for power to come. The little notes that I have is that, unlike how we do it in Kenya, how we do it in Kenya is that you boil water. Then once you boil the water, and I'll say Kenya, not the coastal part, I know the coastal part might prepare the way it is prepared here, because I have heard people refer it differently, and that way it is softer. But we have grown up in the bigger part of Kenyans. The way we prepare it is we boil water, then after you boil the water, you now put the flour. Here they call it meal. So you put the wheat maize, and you start attacking it, like you start pounding it until it is ready. And then once it is ready, some of us like me, I'll leave it for a while, then I'll turn it and leave it for a while, and then serve it. I've been told that is called microwave. It is microwaving. So when you say it is not ready, it doesn't come out ready. But that is what our intents in the world, that is how we prepare it. So here they make it differently. You make porridge. You literally make porridge first. Then once the porridge is ready, now you start adding a bit of flour while you pound it until it comes to the text. So that is how I want to make porridge fat. And I made porridge, now I'll make it into ugali. So normally if you're cooking and it is already porridge and your gas runs out, you take it as porridge. But that is better. In Kenya, if gas runs out when you're preparing, it is a waste. I think there's a time I ran out of gas when I was cooking, and I think I had to do it in the microwave. So I put it in a bowl, I put it in the microwave, then I would take it out, pound it a bit, put it back, and it got ready. So today I'm doing that challenge for myself. I want to prepare Nshima. So stick right there. We are going through it together. If it comes out badly, for me and you. So welcome. If you're new here, kindly tap on that subscribe button. If you're returning subscriber, continue and bring them. You can like, you can share, please leave me a comment. Tell me what I went wrong. Maybe we'll do a part 2 with better knowledge. Okay, this knowledge I have now, I think it is right to do it. Let's go. I'm going to boil some water. Then on the side, I'm going to take some cold water and take the flour and mix. And then once the water has boiled, I take the flour which I've mixed and pour it on the hot water and stir it until it starts to boil. And then that's how I'll start doing porridge. So that's where we're gonna start. I'll start it like that, and then let's see how it comes out right.
I apologize. The previous first part, the audio was not so good. There are some damn crickets that are out there. I think these crickets have those piano whistles. They just. I've tried to enhance the audio, kick them out, but I'm sure you can hear them behind my wordings. They are still there. They can't get away. But at least I managed to silence a few of them. But those crickets are just all over. Anyway, so I want to keep on the load shedding issue. And while I was preparing my thingy, I decided also to do the vegetables. Because I didn't know what to do for 20 minutes as I wait for the porridge to get ready. So while I wait at it, I remembered a few other occasions I've had the experiences of not having power. By the way, having power is such a, the small privileges that you take for granted. In Nairobi, when you run out of power even when power just goes off, like first you're first on the lookout. Who else doesn't have power, so that so that you cancel out. You're not the one who's struggling. It is not your tokens. It is not your building. It's not you and your neighbors. It is not the one phase, I don't know, the red phase which has a problem, and the yellow phase which is your neighbor or somebody else has power. So you're always on the lookout to check, is it only me? Is it only me? And then most of the time we have the newspaper announcements for areas that have been scheduled for maintenance. So you will most likely know tomorrow your area won't have power at a particular time. And it is occasional. It is maybe once a month or whatever. They do the notifications in the newspaper or on Twitter. So even when you see power has gone off in your area, you can go straight to Twitter and check. And if it is not scheduled, it is likely just a malfunction, which maybe it will come back in a couple of minutes, in 30 minutes, in an hour or so. Unless there's a major breakdown, and then that one will be handled differently. So yeah, so those are the small privileges which, when you go to a place where there's no consistent power, then just adjusting it takes time. I remember my first time to Lagos, I didn't know there wasn't power, because I went straight to a hotel. So my colleague there used to come every day, like he would wake me up. And somehow I didn't like it, obviously. He's there on the door knocking. Hey, good morning, wake up. So me, I would think, oh, this guy is waking me up so that we work, so that we go to work or we get busy. Then he would come, put on his laptop, but while at it, start ordering things from the restaurant. Some tea, some food, and in a few minutes, some beer, 1 beer, 2 beers. And at the end of the day, guess it is going on whose bill? I'm the one who used to pay. I used to get really pissed off. Not in a bad way, but at that time, I think it was 2014 or 2015 there. So, and then he would come every day. So funnily, one day he tells me, I think we're just on the road, and he says, you know how I really like it that you're around, because I can save on my fuel. So he actually explained to me that when the wife leaves in the morning and the kid goes to school, he would switch off the genset and then come to my hotel. That's the time I asked him, why are you using genset? Then he told me, you don't know, we don't have, there's no power generally in Nigeria. And it crossed me that there's actually, you don't have power. I met another guy, and he used to be my handyman, and he used to work in a garage. He used to repair vehicles. He told me he actually has 3 gensets. He used to tell me most people have about 2 or 3 gensets. Because you can't afford to live without power, but yet there's no grid power. One of the things I noticed is whenever power would go off, whatever they would say it as they have taken. Like it would come out like they have taken. And I used to hear it so many times. There's a time I said, that thing you keep saying they have taken, you will one day go and face them. Those they, the ones that you call they, you will go face them. Because it seems you have a perception somebody takes away what you deserve. So that's how I think they say it. They have taken. In Nairobi, we say there's a blackout or a power is gone. But in Lagos, they say it. They have taken. I used to ask them who have taken. They believe the government takes away power from them or somebody. So anyway, it's an interesting issue. If you observe basically in Africa. And considering that power has become part of one of the basic needs, so I always believe that a government should be able to provide, and each government can provide. I think if it is the jobs we all talk about, even all those other things that the population demands or requires of their government, I always feel a government can decide a road will pass through your farm, and it will pass through your farm. So even some other things, I think the government can say this can happen, and it can happen. But I think again it is gradual, depending with the challenges, because each and every country faces their own challenges. So challenges are dependent with the geographic location, with the development of the area. I also believe it also depends with the economic bodies for some regions. So I think it is dependent. So I think that's my opinion. I think it is dependent, but I think it is possible. It just depends where every government directs their energy and their focus. And to finish this, I will bring that song by Tekno called RARA. That song, everybody is usually dancing to it. Only I think Nigerians they know what it is about, but most people out here don't know what it is about. If you listen to the lyrics, he says that there is no power, that NEPA is not bringing power, and generator want to tear my ears. But let's talk about the small things. Let's not even talk about the big things. It tries to highlight the problems of the society and what he feels should be addressed. But we all dance to it. Anyway, let me take my shower. I normally do shower before I have my dinner. So after I'm done with this shower, I'm going to serve. So let's serve. My Nshima is ready. Something I had to shower. I had to serve the Kenyan way. I had to serve the Kenyan way. And there is my supper. Let's eat. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.